everybody, it's Nikki here. 안녕하세요. 저는 Nikki입니다. Hi. Today it's more of a kind of a rant video again. I've made a video similar to this in the past, like a long time ago now, where we were talking about US interviews. It was actually in a K-pop news flash. Yeah, where we were talking about issues with US interviews of K-pop idols, such as questions like,
What are these? What are these things? Why does every boy band have to have a Johnny?
even though it's Johnny's name, NCT's Johnny.
Johnny's the king of Chicago. That's all.
Johnny, you gotta go to Chicago.
Stuff like this. And with NCT having been in LA this past week, 10 days-ish, well, last week, there are a few things that popped into my head again, and not just my head, but other people's heads as well. So I kind of want to address them because as we're getting more K-pop idols over here to the US, I think broadcasters should kind of start figuring things out just a little bit more than they are right now. We have BTS coming over here. It's like the second or third year in a row now. NCT's coming over more often. We had GOT7 over, EXO over, Big Bang was over here, Soju was over here. So it's not like no K-pop idol has ever been here. That's not true anymore. It's a simple thing of just doing this much research. 5 minutes and you can find all the answers to some of the things I'm going to be talking about. I'm looking down because I have a tiny list of things I really want to talk about and kind of address. One of the main things that kind of irked people, not just myself, but other K-pop fans in general, was the camera work during the Jimmy Kimmel concert. Hear me out. It was a major opportunity for NCT 127 to have the first broadcasted US performance, which was absolutely amazing. However, there were certain instances where the cameras were actually in the way of them dancing. They were focusing on people that weren't singing at the time, so you had no clue who's actually singing. And with K-pop idols, one of the main things is their choreographies. Their songs are so choreography intense. Is that the right word? I think it is. But they're laying a very big importance on their dance and the choreography and everything, how it plays. It's a whole picture. It is like a little movie in a way. For then to have a cameraman being right in front of somebody that's not even singing and then in the way of somebody that has to come into the choreography and sing, which happened kind of to Johnny. He all of a sudden appeared in front of the camera and it freaked me out. Not because he freaks me out, because I wasn't expecting it. Stuff like this. You can't be in the way of an idol because it A, throws off the choreography, and B, is also kind of dangerous because you could bump into each other and it can turn into a whole mess. So that's one thing. I think with us having more idols come over, maybe having the broadcasters or camera people understand the choreographies better, they can then talk and, okay, where does the camera need to go? Where will it not be in the way? Does the stage need to be larger or whatnot? Things can be adjusted. Things like that are just, again, something to look out. Another concern, well, it's not a concern, it's just something that turned boring really fast through their appearances. It's why do all news sites or all interviews ask the same question? K-pop is so versatile. I think people keep forgetting it. People still think of a lot of times of K-pop, the whole Psy thing, it's just a funny thing. BTS, NCT 127, Big Bang, GOT7, EXO, Soju, name them, I mean them, are starting to show the different side of K-pop, especially, of course, BTS and NCT 127 right now. They're starting to show us the different side of K-pop, that it's not all just silly, funny dances. But people are so stuck on that they're not willing to look at the whole story, the whole, again, the dance, the choreography, the whole concept of groups. It's different. Especially NCT 127, their concept is so unique. Unlimited members, global unit. Why don't you ask stuff like that than the general things? Also with K-pop, there's so many things that the idols actually can't talk about because things are being kept more secretive. Like in the US with Western artists, you can ask, okay, are you working on something?
Okay, so do we have more songs in English that are coming? Do we have kind of mixture? Tell me everything.
A lot of times K-pop artists are not allowed to say that they are. So it's just, again, being more aware of the whole different side of the different industry that it is. Being a little more aware can A, make you look less like an idiot, and B, can prevent the idols from feeling awkward and not knowing what to do. Another thing is being compared to other artists. Yes, I'm particularly talking about NCT 127 being compared to BTS all the time. Different companies, different group concepts. You can't even compare them. It doesn't work because they are different concepts. Yes, they're in the same genre of K-pop, but they are so different. Ryan Seacrest just brought out a interview that he had with NCT 127 as I'm recording this right now. And he asked them, how do you feel about being compared to BTS? Of course, NCT 127, super professional about it, and said, we respect them as an artist, but every group is so unique and so different that they have their own ways to shine. And out of all the questions in the world, he had to go back to, how do you feel about being compared to BTS? Why do we have to ride on this train? Why can't groups that are coming now, or more of them coming now, be their own group? Why do they have to be compared to someone else? If we can do this whole thing with BTS as well and say, how does it feel to be compared to Big Bang? Or stuff like that. We can do the same thing, but no one's doing it. It's just now everyone doing it because everybody seems to have lost the connection that there have been other artists over here. Again, research can change that. Ask awesome questions, ask better questions. We don't have to have the same questions over and over again. What's coming next? What's doing this? There's so many things that they just can't talk about or can't reveal because then they get themselves in trouble with their own label. So yes, it is the music industry, but Western music and K-pop is still so different and the industry is so different that you have to ask different questions. That's just how it is. AMA's red carpet. I think I lost count of how many times I saw NCT 127's name misspelled. We had NTC 127, we had NCT 1-7. People were saying, oh my gosh, it's BTS. People in newspapers put it's BTS in there. People magazine, was it People magazine? I will check into that for you. But there were other people who said, oh, BTS got a huge win, and it was NCT's picture. Research, it's literally type in BTS into Google, you get BTS pictures. Type in NCT 127 into Google, you get NCT 127 pictures. Not that hard. It's really simple. Or maybe it's time to hire people that know a little bit more about the industry than you do. It is not as hard as people seem to make it to be. Two things still from the AMAs. One was another question.
I noticed that as you were coming up, there's no dates with you.
And the faces NCT 127 gave were, again, priceless because I had the same face when I heard the question. It is because that's a question you don't ask an idol, especially a K-pop idol. Dating officially and out there for the whole world to know is not something K-pop idols do. Should I mention the whole Hyuna and Idon issue? I don't think I need to because by now we all know about it. It didn't end very well once it became public. So she was just on the red carpet, and I'm not like saying, oh my God, she shouldn't have, or she's horrible. I'm not saying that whatsoever. It's just something that you should not ask a K-pop idol. If you want to do your job right, you can again do research. The internet is available for almost everybody now. In the US, it's pretty easy to get Wi-Fi, Starbucks. It's just research. That's something you don't ask. Another thing that's been floating around the internet is where one of the reporters was holding the mic out and Taeyong was leaning back. So Taeyong and Mark actually were leaning back so they wouldn't touch her arm. There were a lot of fans that were making fun of it. Yes, it looks funny because of Taeyong's face. Yes, I laughed at it too. Let me remind you that I lived in Korea and I know a bit about the culture. It is a cultural thing. Males do not just touch females if they don't know them. They have a distance between them even when taking pictures. It's not something they do, not like here where it's like, oh, hey buddy, you don't know them, but they're your buddy. Not happening there. So again, just culturally being aware a little bit can make awkward situations like that be as minimal as possible. And that also goes for the fans out there. You are listening to this genre. Learn the culture behind it a little bit, and that doesn't just go for K-pop. That goes for pretty much all genres out there that are not your native genre. Just learn a little bit about it and don't be that person that then keeps posting and laughing at them. Because guess what? That's making them uncomfortable as well. See? Doesn't benefit anybody. And here is more a thing that has kind of been washed up from the bottoms of the ocean. When Taeyong was still a rookie, there has been rumors spread about him being a scammer and whatnot. It was a massive witch hunt. And I mean a massive witch hunt, which had hurt my heart pretty deeply. It hurt Taeyong a lot. He kept apologizing for something he didn't do. Later it was confirmed that it really wasn't him. He didn't do anything bad. It was just some hater that started spreading stuff. And then candidates tend to take things out of proportion a lot. But it's resurfacing, and it's resurfacing over here, and people over here, and by over here I mean the US, or the internet for that matter, the international world. And people are actually making fun of Taeyong for crying. And that's something I don't take lightly, because Taeyong started to fall into a pit I've been in. Depression is not something to joke about. To now go around and pull all of that up and laugh at him for it is just extremely wrong. It honestly makes you one of the worst people in the world if you laugh at somebody for having trouble. There was literally a witch hunt after him where people hated him for something he did not do. For you to now laugh at him for this, for feeling down and whatnot, and feeling like all the world is against him, which at the time was, is messed up. So I highly suggest you don't do this. I think it goes back to anonymity of the internet, where everyone thinks no one knows who I am. I can say whatever the hell I want. It still doesn't work that way. Still be a darn human being and treat everybody with respect. If we could just treat everybody with respect and be maybe a little bit nicer and not just take the first opportunity to hate on somebody, to say things, it could be a much better world. There are things sometimes that I think that I want to write, but I'm not writing that because I'm not that kind of a person. I don't know the person personally. I've never met them. Why would I go after them? I don't know what's going on in their life. So yeah, that was my little rant, completely off topic with US interviews, but I felt like it needed to be said because I've heard from friends, seasonies, and others that they didn't appreciate all of this being dragged up from the bottom of the ocean just because they're now being more public again and becoming more popular. Don't do that. No one needs to do that. There's no sense in it. So again, US interviews could just do a little bit better of doing actual research or hiring someone that has a little bit more knowledge about K-pop in general. I hope you guys have a great week. You're welcome for this rant. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media, Twitter, Instagram, and also my website, howyouheaven.com. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more rants, videos, and other things that are always coming up on this channel. Don't forget to click the little bell icon so you can get notified when I upload new videos. I love you guys. Sarangi. Bye-bye. Annyeong.